Namaste, yogis. Hi, it's Kate, and welcome to Yoga with me. Today we are going to do a super gentle flow designed with the intention to just keep us really present, really grounded, and of course just at a little bit of a slower pace, being super kind to ourselves, bodies, and minds. So with that said, let's get started. Okay, you guys, let's get started. So we are going to find a comfortable seat to begin with and really do some nice grounding and centering here. So as always, I like to sit crisscross, but there are tons of different ways. You can sit up on blocks, you can sit on your knees, however is going to be good for you and however you are most comfortable. I've got my trusty blanket. I like to sit on that to give me a little extra cushion. So find that comfortable seat, and then when you're ready, just slowly let the eyes close down. Remembering that if closing the eyes all the way doesn't feel good for you, then just take the gaze down to the earth, down to the ground. Just allow a moment for your body to settle. Take some movement if you need, just getting out those last little bits of the shake or the energy. And then allow yourself to bring your awareness to your breath. So when we talk about awareness or attention or energy, just focusing on the breath, that's all it means. Just watching the breath move in and out of the body. Noticing if your breaths seem rushed or slow. Just simple observation. Allow the hands to come to heart center in whatever form feels right for you, together in prayer pose, Anjali Mudra, or maybe one hand on top of the other, just connecting physically the hands to the heart space. Allow yourself to sit up a little bit straighter. And then again, bring the awareness back to the breath. With the hands physically against the chest, maybe you have a different connection with the breath this time. Feeling the body expand on the inhale, feeling the body soften on the exhale. Again, just taking a moment to be connected to the breath, to be present. Letting that outside world melt away and tuning in. From here, bring your awareness into gratitude. And just allow whatever comes to mind to come up. Try to do so without judging your thoughts. Letting that word gratitude resonate, letting imagery come to the mind, feelings come to the heart, whatever comes up. Own it, honor it. You can set an intention if you so wish for the practice. Or maybe join in the shared intention of just really taking it gently today, really nice and slow. Enjoying the pause, enjoying the slower pace. And when you feel ready, allowing the hands to come back down onto the lap, letting them fall however they may. And all together, let's take a nice deep inhale through the nose. filling up the lungs, and then let the breath come out of the mouth with a, let's do 2 more times like that. Nice deep inhale, feeling the lungs expand, really deep breath, and then exhale through the mouth. 1 more. And then exhale. Then inhale slowly for a count of 4 through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a pause. Then exhale through the nose for the same count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. In again for 1, 2, 3, 4. Take that pause. Out through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Again in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. And exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause and exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Last one. In the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. And then out through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. And just gradually let the breath come back in through the nose. And try to keep an even cadence as we go today. Always coming back to that simple breath count technique, allowing yourself to count in your head, in for 4 or maybe 5 or maybe 6, whatever works for you. But keeping the breath steady. From here, let's take a nice deep inhale, expanding the arms out, then up. At the top, pressing the palms together and exhaling down through heart center, letting the eyes open as you feel ready. Nice deep inhale, arms sweeping out and up. Again, pressing those palms together, exhaling down through heart center. Let's do 1 more just like that. Super gentle sun breath in through the nose, lifting the arms, and then out through the nose, letting the hands fall down to heart center. Beautiful. Let's take a nice deep inhale, lifting the arms up, overhead, soften the shoulders, take a pause here. Remember, you can adjust however you need to, right, depending on our shoulders. So just lift them to the height of whatever you're comfortable with. Soften the shoulders, extend the fingers towards the sky, create that interesting dynamic. Nice deep inhale. And on the exhale, let's take a twist over to our right side. Let the hands land where they may. Then using the breath, inhaling, lengthening the spine. And exhaling, softening into the twist a little bit. So let's do that 2 more times. You can work at the same pace I'm working at, or maybe you're a little bit quicker, a little bit slower. Remember, that's the beautiful thing about the video, right? You can pause or speed up. Let's do 1 more. Nice deep inhale, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, melt into the twist. Beautiful. Inhale back through center, arms nice and high, and then right to the other side. So letting the hands fall where they may, where it's comfortable. Right into that inhale to lengthen, and then exhale to melt into the twist. Let's do that 1 more time. Inhale, 2 more times. And exhale. Last one, inhaling and exhaling. Next inhale, come back through center. Press those palms together and exhale down through heart center. 1 more time, nice deep inhale, arms sweep out and up. Take that pause at the start, at the top. Let the right hand come down by your side. Nice deep inhale, lift and lengthen. And then exhale, let's arch over to that right side. Now this grounded hand can kind of come over a little bit. You can stay right by your side. You can play around to see how that feels. Keep this opposite hip really grounded on the earth. So keep the sits bone. You have a tendency to open and lift. Keep that down, and you can use this hand to press the hips into the earth. Gaze might want to come up. Gaze might want to come down. Might stay in the middle. Again, your practice. You get to decide. Just open up that side body. Take one more nice deep inhale here. And the exhale. And then here we go. Nice inhale up through center. And then exhale over to the other side. So that hand grounds. We use our next inhale to find that length of the spine. Exhaling on over. Same exact thing here. Let this grounded hand find its right spacing. All right, that's going to be different for everybody. Open up that side of the body, right? Opening up this whole side, trying to get the stretch from the hips all the way to the fingertips. And again, you can play with the gaze. Right? Sometimes in a gentle practice, we need a little more grounding, so it might feel good to look down to the earth. But as always, watch the neck. Make sure it feels okay. You've got one more breath here. And then take that inhale up through center. Press those palms together. Use the exhale to come on down through heart center. Lovely. From here, let's come right into tabletop. And I've got my blanket here. I'll just scooch that out of the way. And as always in tabletop, once we arrive, I really like to check that form. So the fingers are spread nice and wide, shoulders above the wrists, hips above the knees. Yogi's choice to tuck or untuck the toes here. Right into some cats and cows. Nice deep inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the chest. And then as you exhale, pull the belly button to the spine, press the hands into the earth, tuck the chin towards the sternum. Let's do it again. Nice deep inhale, back through that cow posture. And then exhaling, nice and slowly, into the cat. We'll do 2 more rounds. Again, going at your own pace. What's the name of the game here? So you can always wait for us if you're going a little faster. Or if you need a little more time, you just hit that pause button. But really inhaling, dropping the belly, and then exhaling, rounding through. Beautiful. Coming back through center. We'll take the right leg back behind us. And you know my shtick, I love to do the ball of the foot on the earth first, right? So I think it's super important because what happens when you press the ball of the foot and the heel back is that the leg automatically starts to fire up. So all those muscles engage, and that's what we're looking for. Plus you get a nice little calf stretch, right? So we keep the leg engaged, we pull the belly button to the spine, really engage through the core, and then leg straight back behind us. And just stay here for a moment. Now if the wrists are ever sore, remember you can come on to the fists. You can also come down onto the forearms, right? Lots of options to modify. So leg pressing straight back. Let's bend into the knee. Let's take a few hip circles forward. Maybe 4 forward. Make them as big or as little as you want. And when you get to that 4th one, reverse directions. And you don't have to work with the breath here. Just make sure the breath is moving in and out. Lovely. And then when you get to that 4th one, just go ahead and press the knee back down onto the earth. Now, from here, tuck the toes just for a moment and press the hips back. If it doesn't feel good to have the bum on the hips, then you can just kneel all the way up. Let's take the hands together and just interlace the fingers and go ahead and make a few figure 8s here. Right, being mindful of those wrists. Letting the wrists move around. Awesome, give the hands a shake. And then come back into tabletop. So same thing as we just did on the other side. The left leg comes back behind us first. Remember, press the heel back. Get that engagement, the calf stretch. And then, as you feel strong, pull the belly button to spine and lift that leg straight back behind us, right? So we get that nice engagement of the leg. The muscles are all firing up. My fingers are spread nice and wide, keeping that nice alignment. Then same thing here, go ahead and bend that knee and just take those hip circles again. So this time on the other side, 4 nice big ones forward. And then once you get through that 4th one, just reversing direction. And if you go backwards first, no big deal, right? Just make sure you do both directions. And they can be big like I'm doing, or smaller if that feels better on your hips. And when you get through that 4th one, let's do the same thing. Tuck the toes, press on back. Now, this time, see if you can interlace your fingers the other way. And you'll know if you're doing it right because it'll feel really funny. We have a tendency to put one thumb first, switch it up. Then see if you can reverse directions with those figure 8s. Yeah, getting pretty crazy today. So just making sure our wrists are staying nice and healthy and nice and warmed up. And while we're doing this, we're also getting that stretch through the foot if the hips are on the heels, remembering to come up if that doesn't feel good for you. Awesome, you guys. Let that go. Shake out the wrists again. Come back into tabletop. We're going to take that right foot behind us again. So same thing, even though we've already done this, let's start with that ball of the foot on the earth. Press the heel back. Really nice stretch for the foot and for the calf. Find that alignment. You can see mine's a little bit off, so adjust as need be. Pull the belly button into the spine. Lift that leg straight back behind you. Lovely. And then from here, take the leg across the body. So I have my right leg coming over to that left side. Find the earth. Find the ground. And then go ahead and take the gaze over that left shoulder. Now, important here, we don't want to dump all the weight onto the left side. So we're keeping the weight in the hands nice and steady, nice and even, and just looking over to see if we can find that left foot. Now, it may feel great here for you. If you want, you can add a little forward and rocking on the foot back there. That might feel great. It might feel great on your wrists. A little movement. If it doesn't, let it go. Come back to that stillness. Lovely. Then when you're ready, come through stillness if you're not there. Pull the belly button to the spine if it's not there. Lift the leg straight back behind you again. And then from here, go ahead, bend that knee and pull the foot in between the hands as best you can to come into a nice knee down lunge. Now, for me, I like a few things here. I like to pad my back knee, and I like to grab those blocks. So I've got my blocks here. I still check my alignment of my knee above the ankle, but I like the blocks so I get a little bit of more height, right? You can even come up even further. So again, your choice, you get to decide, but for me, I like a little bit more height here, and just let yourself melt in a little bit. So we'll take a few breaths here. Remember, really gentle, moving slowly. And you should feel some compression in that right hip, and you should also feel a stretch in the front of the left quad. Now, if you don't feel those, maybe you're a little bit stacked in, you can play with moving the back knee even further back. And some of us are just super flexible. We may not feel any stretching sensation in that quad at all. Again, it's your body, so observe how it's feeling right now, and then try to adjust as need be. Beautiful. From here, we're going to come back into our half split. So I'm going to walk with my blocks. You can take the choice for you. And then I'm going to walk all the way back. Keeping my back toes tucked is my preference. You can also untuck them. And coming back into my half split. So those forward toes roll back towards me. Important here to try to keep the hips nice and square. So you can shift that front heel back a little bit if need be. While I'm here, I check back into my breath. Check the posture, nice straight spine. Often when we come back here, we're rounding. See if you can keep that nice straight spine. Back to the breath. Maybe you can close down the eyes, feel the sensations. Lovely. When we're done, we'll come back forward. So use that inhale to come back on forward. I'll ditch my blocks for a moment. Grounding my left hand, inhaling my right arm up. I'll take a nice twist. So again, just super gentle. We're not going for anything crazy today. Just moving the body, getting the blood flowing. And here we can use the breath, inhaling, reaching the hands a little bit higher, and then exhaling, softening into that twist. Let's do that 2 more times. Next inhale, reaching the hand a little bit higher, and then exhale the hand down to the earth. Go ahead, tent onto the fingers or create the space you need to move that right knee back. From here, opening up the knees a little bit, you can untuck the toes, press the hips back, and come into a child's pose. So as we arrive in this child's pose, just allow yourself a few nice breaths here. Again, enjoying that nice slow pace today, feeling connected, grounded. Remembering if the head isn't on the earth, you can always stack. You can always grab a blanket for support. Lots and lots of options. But trying to give yourself the space to melt into something. Take one more nice deep breath here. And slowly make our way back up into that tabletop. I often like just one little round of cat-cow and reset. Beautiful. Then next side. So left foot comes back this time. Ball of the heel back first, right? Get that stretch, feel that sensation. Belly button to the spine, lift the leg straight back behind you, nice. And then bring the leg across the body, so over to the right side, let the foot land. And same thing here, we'll take that gaze over the body, but mindful to keep the weight even in the hands. Find that little bounce if you like it. You might see how it changes the dynamic of the stretch or the sensation you feel. Remembering there's no right or wrong, it's just what you need and what you're feeling today. Awesome. When you're ready, belly button to the spine, straight back through, lift the leg, leg back, bending the knee, nice deep inhale, and using that exhale to drive the knee and the foot forward in between the hands. Same setup for me here. You get to choose your setup of choice. And then slowly just melting in to this nice knee down runner's lunge. Again, looking for that compression in the left hip and stretching sensation in the front of the right quad. Front of the thigh. Find a few breaths. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly walk on back. I'm bringing my blocks with me. You can bring yours as well. Coming into that half split. So same thing here, keeping those hips nice and straight. Thinking about that spine being nice and straight. You can always practice breathing and lengthening the spine and settling in a little bit if you're looking for more sensation. And again, just let the eyes close down and lean into it, right? Lean into the sensations you're feeling. Observe how the body's reacting, how the breath is reacting. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Equal breaths. One more nice deep inhale and exhale. And then we'll walk ourselves forward again. This time planting that right hand onto the earth and inhaling up the left hand. So nice and simple. Taking that twist and then working with that breath. Remember, inhaling to reach up and then exhale to soften and melt into the twist a little more. Inhaling, exhaling. Use your last inhale to reach a little higher. Exhale to ground the hand. And then however you can, work that knee back to the other one. Bring the hips, bring the knees wide, untuck the toes, and press back into child's pose. Let's take a few breaths in a more relaxed child's pose. Remembering you can do that breath count of breathing in for 4 and breathing out for 4, especially if the mind seems to start wandering. Lovely. From here, let's come back up into our tabletop. So a lot of floor work today. Remember, if it's ever really sore on the knees, use a blanket, or on the wrists. You can do a lot of different alternative postures or hands on the earth so you feel more comfortable. All right, coming from here, we'll come all the way up onto the knees. Now again, if the knees tend to be a little bit creaky or sore, grab your blanket, grab a pillow, grab something that's going to give you that stability. So I'm turning onto my mat. You can choose to do the same thing. Coming up onto the knees, let's start with the right leg coming long first. So this is what I like to call a modified warrior 2, right? And you'll see why, just the leg extension. So my toes are pointing towards the long edge of my mat because my body's pointing that way. When I take a nice deep inhale, the arms come up parallel just like they would on a warrior 2. So really right here is the foundation. My hips are to the long edge of the mat, and if you can imagine the leg coming down in a full warrior 2, this is a good practice to get that alignment that we're looking for. So nice deep inhale and exhale. Then from here, flip that left hand. Let's inhale up, coming towards that extended leg. And just opening up the side body. Breathe, right? Enjoying the pause. Not too much movement today. That's okay. As we get into the poses, we're holding them a little longer. Really good practice. On your next inhale, let's come up through center, and exhale, we'll come to the other side. Now this is a great place for a block if you'd like it. And inhaling up, keep that right arm lifted towards the ceiling. And just see if you can open up into this hip area. If it feels good, you can take the arm all the way overhead. So some variations there, just like we would an extended side angle. The gaze might want to come up, or it might want to ground, or it might want to stay neutral. Again, feel it out. See what you need right now. Beautiful. Next inhale, come up through center. Use the strength of the core, so engage that belly button to spine. Take the hands to the hips. Bring that right leg in. Left leg's going to come out, right? Second side, yoga experts. Set it up. Nice deep inhale, toes are pointed to that long edge. And really squeeze the shoulders together. Make sure the arms are activated. Shoulder blades together, right? So we're opening up through the front part of the chest. Flip that right hand, nice deep inhale and exhale back. So opening it up, feeling that side stretch. Patience in the pause, connecting back into the breath, especially if the mind feels like it's going fast. Slow it down with the breath. Next inhale, come through center. Awesome, you guys. And then exhale over that opposite direction. Setting it up first with the arm nice and tall. And then if you're feeling it coming over, but not necessary, remember this is a gentle practice today, so really even right now is kind of a little more than we need. Just opening up that side body. Keep that extended foot grounded, right? Don't let it come up. Really keep the whole foot grounded. Great stretch for the ankle. Take one more nice deep breath. And then from here, belly button to the spine. Use the core to pull yourself back up. Nice. Hands come to the hips, foot comes in. Then from here, just take the hands towards the back. So almost like back pockets of the jeans, thumbs out, fingers pointed down. Pull the elbows back and just give yourself a little back bend. So just opening up through the chest, allowing yourself a little space here. If you've got more room, you can even come back a little further, but be mindful. It's gentle. And then when you feel ready, let that go. Come on back down. Swivel the feet around so we can come onto the bum. Lovely. And just go ahead and bring the legs long onto the mat. So this is why I like a blanket here. I like to sit up on a blanket. Give myself a little more height. Get those sits bones onto the earth. Flex the toes back towards your body. Sit up a little taller. And then when you're ready, we'll take a nice forward fold. So my rule of thumb is always a little bend in the knees. Again, it's always up to you. But you can even do a deep bend in the knees if you'd like to feel that compression of the chest to the thighs. Up to you entirely. What we're looking for here is keeping that back nice and flat and almost slowly walking into that forward fold. All right, I'm feeling super tight today. It's nice and rainy here, so my body is not, doesn't want to cooperate. It's feeling gentle and a little bit lazy today. Nice rainy day. But I just slowly let myself melt. As you feel more relaxed, you can let the body relax a little more. But this is an intense posture for most of us. And so just try to breathe into it. And whether you're all the way down or you're all the way up here, right? Don't worry about it. Just relax into it as much as you can. Use the breath. Nice flat back. Patience in that pause, right? rock yourself back up the way you went in. And just go ahead and bounce the knees for a minute. So bounce the legs, give them a little shake. And then maybe a few rolls of the ankles one way, and then a few rolls of the ankles the other way. Just getting all those joints. Lovely. Then from here, pulling both feet in, and I will turn so you guys can see me a little bit better. So both the feet coming in, a little bounce. Baddha Konasana, right? Bound angle pose. And you can play with how close or how together and far apart your feet are. I like to add a little bounce. If stillness works better for you today, then go ahead and be still. Maybe close the eyes, think about a nice straight spine. Lovely. From here, go ahead and let that go. You can just relax the feet for a moment. Let's take the arms out wide. Bring the left arm across the body, and we're going to scoop it with the right arm, just getting a little shoulder stretch in. And if you can remember how you crossed your legs at the beginning and you want to take a different cross, you can do that. If not, don't worry too much about it. Your body might actually tell you which side feels a little tighter is probably the one you didn't do. And just breathe, let the shoulder stretch. And then release, we'll do the other side. Just open up the arms and then take that same motion. Remembering that if you do the opposite side that I'm doing, then just do the opposite the next time. Right, both sides, both stretch. Nice, releasing that. Go ahead and give the shoulders a few rolls backwards, maybe 4. And then go ahead and dip the shoulders a few rolls forward. Wait, there's lots of cracks going on in there for me. All right, from here, let's roll on to our backs. Very, very gently, however you'd like to end up there. Your choice, of course. Ooh, and when we arrive on our backs, go ahead and hug those knees in for a moment. Then bring the hands onto the knees and just take a few circles here. So letting the knees go to the right, forward, left, and back. So really we're looking for the low back to kind of get a massage here. Making a circular motion. And then reversing for a few turns. And for me, one way always feels more natural than the other. You may feel the same thing. It's all good. Nice, you guys. Then from here, dropping the feet onto the earth. Keep those knees bent. Let's take a figure 4. So a figure 4 is a great stretch for the hip, and I love it as an alternative to pigeon. For me, it feels a lot safer and just as good in my body. So left leg comes up, left ankle onto the right knee. And go ahead and just relax. Now take the left hand here and press the left knee away from the body. So when you do this, you should start to feel some sensation in that left hip. Sometimes flexing the left toes can change that sensation. Now if you're feeling good here and you're feeling enough sensation, then go ahead and stay. If you need more or want more, you can start to lift that right leg. Hands come around the thigh or maybe even around the shin. And start to engage in the sensation this way. Now you can straighten the leg if you care to, but I want you to focus on that left hip, right? Because that's where we're trying to get the sensation. This stretch is in that left hip. So if you lift the right one and lose the sensation, then maybe come back, plant the right foot back down. Or take the right hand behind the thigh and use the left hand to still press that knee away from the body. And again, come back to the breath. Awesome. From here, release that right foot down. If it's floating, let's unravel the legs for a moment. Take the feet wide on the mat and just give yourself a little windshield wiper of the knees side to side. Awesome. Come back through center. Same setup as last time. This time, right ankle on left knee. Same thing. Start with that knee pressing away. And there's a few things that I emphasize, and this is always one of them, because I think it's important that we don't lose sight of that stretch that's intended, right? If you're feeling like you want more, then go ahead and lift that left leg up. But remember that right knee pressing away from the body. And again, breathe into the sensation you're feeling, remembering this is intended to be a gentle practice. Especially if the sensation feels strong. If it's too strong, back out. And if it's just right for you, then breathe into it. From here, releasing that flying foot down, if it is, unraveling the legs. Let's take that windshield wiper one more time, feet nice and wide on the mat. Beautiful. Bringing the knees back up towards the body, taking a happy baby or some kind of happy baby variation. If you feel like you want a little more compression, you can always pull the knees in tight, or simply grabbing the ankles or the feet on the inside of the legs. And allowing yourself a few moments here, naturally finding that rocking sensation. Remembering that the goal is to really keep that spine as flat as possible. So if you're all the way up here, maybe release the legs, release the feet and come behind the knees, allowing the lower spine to sit further onto your mat. And again, that is a place to really practice that self-observation, right? We want to grab the feet, we can grab the feet, but it pulls us all the way up here, then let the feet go, let the spine come onto the earth and grab where is comfortable, right? That feels right. It's not exactly what I'm doing, that's no big deal. It's your practice. Lovely. From here, planting the feet, bending the knees still. Hands come down by your side, feet can walk towards the bum a little bit more. And on your next inhale, lifting the hips up, super gentle. Staying up here for the exhale. Staying up here for the next inhale. And then a nice slow roll down on the exhale. And try to go slow. Try to make it vertebrae by vertebrae. The exhale will be a little bit longer. And the same thing again, use the inhale, pressing the hips up. Exhale to release them down. Last time, inhaling, pressing up. Holding for that breath. And then using the exhale to slowly roll your way back down. Beautiful. Now extending the legs long for a moment, but really quickly rolling onto the belly. Really important that we get some spine action this way too today. So a few rolling cobras. Hands come down, not even on my mat. Hands come down by the shoulders, right? So my hands are under my shoulders. My feet are into the earth. My hips are pressing into the earth. I take a nice deep inhale, engaging through the backside of the body and releasing. Nice deep inhale. And then using the exhale to release down. We'll do 2 more like that, so just go at your own pace. Inhaling up. Exhaling to release. Last one. And exhaling to release. Beautiful. Make a little pillow with your hands for the head just for a moment. Bend in the knees and take a nice windshield wiper this way as well. Great, you guys. Come back through center as you are ready, and then slowly just make that gentle transition onto the back again, just making sure we get a little bit of time on the belly. Resetting here. Then taking the right leg, crossing it over the left, right? So my right leg crosses on top. And then from here, slowly dropping the knees over to the left side. So this is a little bit more of an intense twist. So if you'd rather just keep the knees together and drop to the left, A-okay. But I think sometimes the twists at the end can be a little more intense, and it can actually feel good. So again, up to you, but I like the leg twist. And the arms can come out to the side. You can tee them, you can goalpost them, you can bring the gaze over to the right. The important thing is that we're taking a twist. And so there's a variation, especially calling to you, then go ahead and do it, right? Your practice. We'll come back up through center as you are ready. Maybe a little hop of the hips, just realign. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So this time the left leg crosses over the right, and we drop those knees to the right. And take a twist to the other side. Again, mimicking what you've done previously on the other side. So if you took a different variation, just make sure you do that on this side as well. Take one more nice deep breath. And bring your knees back up through center, unraveling them. Give yourself a little squeeze in. Releasing. You're taking a nice overhead stretch, full body stretch. Pausing the video if there's any other movement you need before we set up for our Shavasana. And when I'm by myself especially, I like to use a blanket. Putting a blanket over my chest to give a little bit of weight. Palms falling up, feet falling open. Let's take 2 nice big cleansing breaths. Nice deep inhale through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth, then in through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4, out through the nose, 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, in for 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, out for 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, in for 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, out for 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, in for 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, and out for 1, 2, 3, 4, pause. Last one. In for 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, and out for 1, 2, 3, 4, pause. And just let your breath naturally refill through the nose. Let go of the breath. Relax the body. And for the next few moments, just be. breath in through the nose. And let it slowly drift out through the mouth. And before you move any further, just allow yourself to feel the calm and the stillness of the body. Allow yourself to be appreciative for the pause. And go ahead and move fingers and toes. Gently and gradually let the body wake up however you need. Think about getting out of bed in the morning. You don't think how to do it. You just naturally, organically wake up. And then when you feel ready, rolling to one side. And again, just pausing there. Enjoying one more beautiful inhale and exhale. And then slowly and steadily using your hands to press back up, finding that seat we started in. Allowing the hands to come back to heart center. Allowing yourself to connect back into gratitude, honoring whatever comes up in this moment for you. Allowing yourself to reconnect to your intention, or that shared intention of just going slow. Knowing it's okay sometimes to slow down, to move a little more gently, to be a little kinder to ourselves. I am grateful for your time, your space, your energy, for this beautiful practice of yoga, and for you spending time with me. Namaste.